Hello dear students, I am Dr. Sanjay Pagar, Associate Professor, Department of Geography. Dear student, I welcome all of you in this online lecture series on behalf of Maratha Vidya Prasara Samajas, Karate Arts, BH Commerce and AM Science, popularly known as KTHM College, Nasik. Dear student, this is our SYBSC Geography class, semester 4, and title of our subject is Environmental Geography Part 2. The code of our subject is GG241, and today we are going to discuss our first topic, that is Environment Impact Assessment. And in this topic we have a subtopic, that is Methods of Environmental Impact Assessment. Dear student, in previous lecture we have detailed discussed about the ad hoc method of environmental impact assessment. For today's lecture we have a study objective or learning objective that is very simple, to discuss the checklist method of environment impact assessment. Dear student, environmental impact assessment is a systematic and the integrative process that we already discussed in our previous lecture. It is a very useful for the promote environmentally sound and sustainable development. So dear student, if you want to start a new project that is very useful for the economic development, so for that purpose, this is very important. If you want to promote this project, then environmental impact assessment is very important. On the basis of a report that we made from the environmental impact assessment, the decision might be taken on the basis of that project. So dear student, therefore the environment impact assessment is a very important process for taking the final decision of the project, whether we are going to start proceed or not. So various methods are used for environmental impact assessment, such as ad hoc method, checklist method, metric method, network method, overlay method, environmental index using factor analysis, and cost benefit analysis. So these are the very important methods that were used for environmental impact assessment of any project. Among them, one is very important, that is ad hoc method. It is a simple method based on subjective environmental impact on the broad aspect that we already discussed in detail in our previous lecture. Dear student, let us discuss the another important method that we use for the environmental impact assessment, and the method is checklist method. This method is the simplest form of impact prediction of a new any development project, such as the construction of dam, construction of the road, construction of the railway, or maybe the establishment of the multi-purpose project in particular area. For that purpose, this method is very important. Dear student, when we use this method in preparing the checklist, first a list of activities drawn up. Then the team look at the possible area within the project area that will be affected by the activity. It means very simple meaning of this sentence, that when we are going to start a new project, that time what are the various activities are involved in that project, that we make a list of that particular activity. And one thing is another very important, simultaneously we are making a list of which environmental factor will be affected by each and every activity that are involved in the project. So that we, for that purpose, we making the list. The which activity of the project is going to affected which environmental aspect in the study area, that is highlighted in the assessment. So this is a very important feature of this method, because what we are doing, we are making the list of the various activities that are involved in the project, and simultaneously which part of the environment will be affected by all this method, all this activity. I mean, at this level we are individually we are assess the impact of the each activity on which factor will be affected of that area. So this is a very important feature of this method. In this method, environmental factors are also listed in the structural format by giving the importance weighting for factors and application of scaling technique for impact of the each alternative. So this is a very important feature of this method. The impact identification is a fundamental function of this environmental impact assessment. So this is also another very important the feature of this checklist method, because you know that the identification, the impact identification is our major aim, and that we are going to fulfill by using this method. And checklists are strong indicator of impact identification. So if you want to assess the impact of the each and every project that we are going to start for the economic development, or maybe not for any part of any development of that region. So for that purpose, you know that the checklists are very strong indicator. On the basis of this criteria, on the basis of this indicator, we can able to finalize our decision. So with respect to the start the new project, this method is really very good. And when we are using this method, so they effectively garner the attention and the awareness of their audience, means the public. So this is also very important. When you publish the display the checklist of that project related to project on the basis of your environmental impact assessment, and so therefore this checklist will be very important thing, and the people will read it very carefully, and they can also convey their comments whether that project is really useful for them or not. So with this respect, this is a very important feature, effectively garner the attention and the awareness of the audience. Dear student, one thing is other important when we are carried out the checklist method for environmental impact assessment. In checklist method, what we are doing, the impact are tabulated in the form of cells with the information either in the descriptive form that give information regarding possibility or the potential existence of an impact, whereas in the scaling method, the magnitude or the importance of impact is given. See, this is a very important feature, because we make when we apply the checklist method for the environmental impact assessment, that time we prepare the list of the activity with the tabulated form in the cell and the row, and that time, and even we can make same list for the descriptive form also. So on the basis of this activity, we can able to fulfill this table by tick mark or by written some sentence that are related to the particular impact of that environmental impact of that activity on the surrounding region, or maybe the various factors that are present inside that area. So for that purpose, this is a very important option. So when we are going to discuss the example, that time I will be explaining this part in a detail. So dear student, so when we are making the checklist, that time some point we have to remember. On the basis of this point, we have to make our checklist. Otherwise, it will be useless. So these three important things are very important when you are going to finalize your checklist. The first very important thing, it is important to consider the different level of impact caused by activity. So see, for example, suppose we are making a construction of dam. We are going to start the construction of dam. So when we are going to construct the dam, that time some levels are very important. For example, what is the main level? That is the primary level. So what will the impact of that drainage system that are available in that watershed area? So that is our first. And secondary, well, yes. So maybe the numbers of the activity that are directly or indirectly depend on that drainage system or then the watershed area. So maybe the fishing activity might be available in that particular area. So when you are constructing the dam, what will be the impact of your construction of dam on the fishing activity, the fishery activity that are conducted by the various people in some part of that area? So that will be definitely going to affect when you are going to construct dam. So at such level, you can assess your impact by making the checklist. So when you are making the checklist, keep in mind that yes, you have to tick mark the impact as the primary level, as the secondary level, or the tertiary level, or maybe the so on. Keep so on. So we have to cover the various levels that that the project will be affected when that will be going to start. So this is very important. Same thing you can apply for with respect to the ecosystem, with respect to the environmental balance, with respect to the biodiversity of that region. See, so when you are making the checklist, that time we keep in your mind the level of different level of the impact was. So this is the very important thing, and if you keep these all points in your mind and then you prepare your list, definitely it will be very useful and the comprehensive checklist for your environmental impact assessment. Let us see the second important point. Need to be identify certain temporary as well as long-term effect of the proposed project. So this is a very important thing. So see, when you are going to finalize your checklist, that time you can make into the two parts. The first is the temporary, what will be the temporary impact of that project when you are going to start, and what will be long-term effect of that proposed project. So that we have to keep in mind. It may be possible sometime it is very useful for this temporary period, but see, we can observe the long-term effect might be not good. It may be possible the short-term or the temporary effect is good, that is beneficial to us, but when we are think about the long-term effect, then definitely it will be not useful. So in the case of the Green Revolution in India, this thing was happened because during the 1965 or during some 5 to 6 years, yes, there was the boost in the production of the wheat or maybe the rice and so many crops in the Punjab and Haryana. But after the 20 and 30 years, there was also a negative effect we observed. That was the groundwater, the quality of the soil is really decreased in large scale. So that is in this way we can analyze when we are making the checklist. There should be the option what will be the temporary effect of that area and of that project, and what will be the long-term effect of the project, that we have to cover when we are making finalize our checklist. Third, very important, that is very important thing, to highlight individually as well as cumulatively effect of the project. See, this is a very important. So at the personal level, or it may be at the individual level, we have to analyze this checklist, and also cumulatively what will be the impact of that project. As a comprehensive impact of that project, we have to analyze it. And when all these three things you are keeping in your mind, and after then you finalize your checklist, definitely it will be very useful and effective, and really the result will be very good when you are conducting this method for the environmental impact assessment. Dear student, so see, let us see the one example, the construction of dam. Suppose this is the project, this is the proposal, we are going to start any project, any area. So that time we can make the checklist. See, this is the one example. So see, here were the activity. So there are 6 activities I just listed here. First is the land use, soil quality, water quality, biodiversity, noise pollution, and the forest. See here, what will be the adverse effect of that project on this each and every factor, this activity. Maybe when we started the construction of dam, then what will be this activity affected on the land use of pattern of that area? What will be the impact of this dam, construction of dam, on the soil quality, on the water quality, on biodiversity, on the noise pollution, and forest maybe. So here is you just tick mark whether it is an adverse effect or not. If there is, you are not able to comments on whether it is adverse or it may be beneficial, so you can keep it, you can tick mark here, no effect. Beneficial effect, yes, this is the positive effect. If it is positive effect, land use will be changed, then you have to do here tick mark, yes, right tick mark, yes. And what will be an impact on the soil quality? So it is good or bad. If it is a negative effect, then you can tick mark here. If it is a positive effect, then you can tick mark here. So on these are the few example. So you can add the various activity in this. You can add here the public health, or maybe the ecological balance, maybe the environmental balance, or maybe the ecosystem that are present in that area. So you can enlarge this list, and simultaneously you just tick mark whether it is a positive. If it is a positive, then you can tick mark here in the beneficial effect. If it is a negative impact, then you can tick mark in the column of the adverse effect. And if you are not able to say whether it is a true, or whether it is a negative, or whether it is a positive, so for that purpose, in this situation, you can just tick mark in the column number 2, that is no effect. So this such type of the checklist you can make for any type of the project that we are going to start in that area. So dear student, this was our reason. So let us discuss the type of checklist. we are making the checklist for on the basis of the nature of the dam. We can able to checklist in a 4 type. Let us see the simple. Just I mentioned the example of the simple. Second, the descriptive. Yes, the descriptive checklist you can also make for the environmental impact assessment of that area. Along with the aspect, the information on how this aspect is affected is written down. You have to write some sentence, few sentence. What will the impact of that particular activity on the environment? This is where level of impact is considered. So this is very important. So you just make your comments with help of the sentence. But see, the sentence should be accurate and very what you can say the you can write in such a way that everyone can understand the meaning of that sentence, and it is short but very meaningful. The sentence should be short but very meaningful. So this is second time. Third is the scaling. Scaling is another important type of the checklist. So in this checklist, what we are doing, against each impact, a scale of 1 to 3 or based on your nature of the work. So you can enlarge the scale 1 to 5 also, 1 to 10 also, but generally we use the scale 1 to 3 is used to quantitatively estimate the impact. The completely subjective, the quantitatively estimate, that is very important. So we assign the number of that impact of that particular activity on that particular area. So it is start from 1 for the low, then 2 for medium, and 3 for high. So you can explain so the intensity of that scaling. So that is very important. Without if you not mention the intensity of the numbers, then it is useless to us. So therefore this is very important. The scaling checklist is very important, that we use some time when we are conducting the environmental impact assessment. Then we have the questionnaire. The questionnaire is also very important. This is what is described above. This also take stakeholders' opinion into account. It is a detailed and comprehensive. See, so when we are making the checklist, that time also you can give the checklist in the form of questionnaire to the people, that audience or the stakeholder, that people are living in that particular area, because they are local people. And when we are going to start the new project, the opinion of that local people is very important. So you can communicate with them, and for that purpose we can make your checklist in this questionnaire form and give the circular to them, and you can take the comments on the answer and the response of that stakeholder or that local people about that new project, and they can easily. So this is a very important, what you can say, the this method is very useful for environmental impact assessment, because this is the directly these people are communicated through questionnaire to you their opinion whether really this project is useful to them or not. If their opinion is positive, then yes, you can proceed this project. But see, if they are opposed, they are not willing to start this project, and they can convey their response in this questionnaire. And by analyzing this questionnaire, we can able to finalize our decision whether that project should continue or not. So these are the 4 type of the checklist: the simple checklist, descriptive checklist, scaling checklist, and a questionnaire checklist. So dear student, let us talk about some advantages and disadvantages of the method. First, let us discuss the advantages of checklist. So first is, this method is very simple to understand, so common people the local people can easily understand. They can easily read out, and they can understand what will the impact of this project on the local condition, on the environment. Second is, this method is very useful for site selection and the priority setting about the new project. See, this is very important. That is why when we are start the project, especially that are very useful for the public or maybe very useful for the people, that time this method is really very important. And most of the people, and even each and every country, when we have such type of the project, that time this method is applied. So therefore this is a very important method that we are using for environmental impact assessment. But see, there is some disadvantages of the checklist methods. Let us see the first. This method is not useful for distinguish between the direct and indirect impact. So this is the very really drawback of this method. So therefore, the most of the people not use this method because we are not able to clearly distinguish between what will be the direct impact of this project and what will be the indirect impact of this project on the local condition. So that is why this is the important drawback. The people avoid this method generally. Second is that this method is not link action and impact. So this is also important. So there is no linking between the action and the impact. So this is a when we are making the checklist, that time we feel that the action and the impact will be not linked properly, and so therefore this is also very important drawback of this method. This method is only recommended for small scale projects. So this is the very important drawback. So when we are carried out the very new project on a large scale, that will cover the large area, or maybe the cost of that method is too of the project is large, or maybe the too much. So that time when the project will be have a very large scope, cover the large area, and it has a large intensity, that time definitely this project is not useful. So this is very useful for the small project, small scale project. But if you want to carry out apply this project for the big scale project or large scale project, that time definitely this method is not useful to us. This method is very hard and time consuming task. Yes, really this is a very important drawback of this method. Is very hard. When we are making the checklist, there should be the each and every activity and each and every factor of the impact environment should be included, and for that purpose we have to finalize. We first make the rough list, then we give the final touch to them. That take too much time, and one thing that it requires the really hard work, because we have to revise again and again, make a drop, check drop again, the cross checking is there. And one thing is that when we do the final report on the basis of checklist method, that time also take a lot of time. So therefore this method is very hard and time consuming methods. Dear student, this was about today's method, and there are numbers of methods, but we are not going to discuss. As example, we just explain the two methods, that's ad hoc method and checklist method. So here is the other method. I also mentioned in the introduction part of this lecture and in my previous lecture. So the other method should be you keep in your mind, or you can read it from the internet source also. So in next lecture we are going to discuss another very important sub point of this topic, that is steps involved in the environmental assessment. So okay, thank you.